us today is Miguel Labadie, Dr. Miggs, as he's affectionately called. And Miguel, welcome to Untapped Potential.
Thank you very much, Simone. Do you prefer Dr. Matthew or Simone, as I know you for so long now?
Absolutely not. You can call me Simone. And it's so interesting that you mentioned that because we go way back, Miguel. We grew up in the same community of Bath Estates.
Yes.
And, I have known you practically my entire lifetime. So it's so nice to reconnect with you.
Yes, definitely. Pleasure, Simone, reconnecting like this. You look the very same since I last saw you in person. I'm sure at least 20 years or so ago, some 20 years ago. Just like your
Yes.
brother Wayne, you guys don't age, huh?
Yes, and I'm happy to say that you look the same as well. So I guess we must be doing something right being from Bath Estate.
Yes, it probably has to do with the river, the
Yes.
water that
Yes.
flows through the
You,
community, coming
right,
from the valley going down.
as children, we spend so much time in that river, right?
I'm telling you, these were
Yes,
good
yes. It
times,
must
huh?
be the river.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
So even if before we get started, every time I have an opportunity to speak to you, especially in a public forum, I always reminded to thank your mom. Because
Oh,
again, she was the very first person to offer me a job when I left college and had no idea what I wanted to do. So every time I have an opportunity, I'm going to remember to thank your mom. And I'm sure she's listening. So Mrs. Labadie, thank you for offering me that job when I really needed it.
yeah, that's so wonderful, Simone. I'm happy that my mom could play, a small part.
Yes.
I got to spend some quality time with her, though by default, as I usually visit sometime in March or so, and with the COVID and everyone getting stuck, I got to spend, even more time than I'd anticipated, obviously, which came up to at least 5.5 months,
Wow.
so it was all good, man. I had a good time, nevertheless.
Yeah, certainly. There's nothing like too much time with family. So I'm happy it worked out in your favor. So let's jump right in. You're a DJ, a radio personality. You recently launched your own radio program. Your website, drmigslab.com. So we have a lot to talk about. So I'm certainly happy that you're joining us today. So just tell us a little bit more about you and what you do.
Okay, well, I have been involved in radio since 2003 when I started as a volunteer at DBS, and then later on just sort of fit in and got into the programming. Also worked as the custodian of the record library at the time, and then replaced Ted Daly. It was such I mean, big shoes, that
Yes.
no one can't really fill, but had to replace Ted Daly on the stint he did for so many decades
Yeah.
on DBS, So from there, I started DJing live on the invitation of Prince Wadix Charles, who you know very well, who
Yes.
sort of just gave me the name Dr. Miguel Labadie. This is a guy with many words. So he just came up with the Dr. Miguel Labadie, and I decided to stick with it. Even before radio, I was involved in producing jingles. I did quite a bit of musical jingles, as I was always involved with music. I had this music group with a few of my friends, and we would perform and organize small events around the community or for different business places. So I got the idea from my dad that we could approach business places and offer that service, in exchange for sponsorship to go towards recordings and all that. And then later on, I discovered that, I had the voice and the potential to um, do ads and, voice the advertisements for different products or services. It just sort of fit in. So I've been doing that, forever. I also have my events company, Mira Entertainment, and we host several themed events, including Reggae on the Boardwalk, which is a household name in Dominica, the classics concert where we feature the old school artists and different boat rides, various events for the mature, for the young, different concepts, as some people may know, I'm the proud father of three beautiful daughters.
Mhm.
Yeah, one just started high school. I'm so proud, and two others currently in college. The first even following your footsteps, Simone. Going into your field a bit. So it has been fun, and I'm very humble and proud.
Yes, you have such a beautiful, full life, Miguel. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm so
so we have a
grateful.
lot to unpack just from what you said. So, were you always interested in entertainment? You always wanted to be on the radio?
I wouldn't say I always wanted to be on the radio, but entertainment has been part of my life. I grew up around music and being in record stores and around musicians, family, friends. So I always had that passion, just being inspired. I was always inspired by entertainers. And at some point, I wanted to be a musician on stage, playing keyboards because I played the keyboard as a child. Never really got to. Um, do any advanced classes or training or formal training, but I always had that interest. I stopped playing at some point, but the interest was always there. And then I started performing, like I mentioned earlier, with a group of friends. We would sing and dance the usual, to the popular dancehall tunes and the hip hop tunes at the time, always being encouraged by my parents and family, participated in competitions, even calypso,
Oh,
so yeah, so I always wanted to do that, and I always felt that I had this business side in me. I always believed that I would own my business and bring my ideas into life at some point, because ideas always flow, in my head. They're always there. They just exist. They come natural to me. They come naturally, and I think that is my gift. As we all have different gifts and skills, just being creative in bringing certain ideas to life. So while I worked at different areas, doing accounting, etc. I worked in the government. I worked as a school teacher for a couple of years, which I enjoyed. I worked with your brother, Wayne Sandhouse, and it was a good experience, good journey, among a few different things. But then the music and entertainment was always in my heart, in my blood. The radio aspect itself, that was actually inspired by simply working with local artists who I felt needed an opportunity that probably wasn't existing for them, as entertainers who did not do the indigenous music of Dominica, like the Buyo Okada, so probably didn't sing calypso and probably were into like reggae and dancehall. And I felt I just wanted to do something to sort of push these guys. And what happened was that I approached DBS, Shemaine Green at the time, and also Marriott Warrington was the manager, and told them that I had an idea to do something specific. And Shemaine had said at the time that, with DBS, they don't just want, it's not just about coming and do a music program, but they would look for someone who is sort of well-rounded, who can read, who can present, who can announce, who could be a reporter, these sorts of things. And it was also that time when Ted Daly had first announced his retirement, from radio. So it was just good timing. And
yeah.
they gave me this audition. They gave me some stuff to read, some scripts, some announcements, and told me to come in and do like a mock show, like a little pilot program, which I
Mhm.
did. And from all reports, it was very impressive. They were just impressed with my audition, and I just fit in. I just started, learned a few things under Fedina, who worked there at the time, and yeah, I just got into radio from there, like
Wow,
that.
that's an amazing story, Miguel, because it's like you took a chance. There was no opening announced. You just
No,
decided this is what I'm interested in, and I'm just going to approach the main radio station on the island. I'm not going to start with a smaller radio station. I'm just going to shoot for the top.
Yes, that
So
is what it
kudos to
was.
you. Good for you. Good for you.
Yes,
And it
man.
worked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I was very lucky, if I could say that. So you just have to sort of count your blessings and be
Mhm.
grateful for opportunities. It was a good opportunity, good timing.
Yeah, absolutely. And now tell me, because those of us who are from Dominica and of a certain age will remember Ted
Mm.
Daly and what a phenomenal radio personality he was. So, I mean, what was that like for you to step into the shoes of pretty much a legend in radio and
Man,
take over his time slot and everything? What was it like the first day that you attempted to do so?
yes, well, they allowed me to sort of get my feet wet, gradually. It's like if you're stepping into a river, very cold, waterfall, or a tub of hot water, and you just want to go bit by bit, put your
Yes.
feet in first, then go all the way. So it's like they allowed me to get my feet wet, where I would come on with Fedina or Shemaine and just do something, do a little something, do a little something until they felt that there was enough confidence to give me that shot. And when the time came, I think sometimes, like Ted Daly was probably, if he say he would have been unable to make it, or if he would have been off for his birthday, which he would usually take, then they'd call on me, say, Miguel, come do this, until the opportunity came to just do the program. So I mean, it wasn't much of a challenge for me as such, but just the thought of filling those shoes, I mean, that alone was kind of overwhelming growing up listening to a legend like Ted Daly, and the tons of fans, who adored him and who listened to him. And I had to understand very early who my audience was.
Mhm.
It's very important to understand who you are catering to, who you are targeting, who is listening, and that sort of content. You have to understand that you're not playing music for yourself. You have to understand that you have a responsibility to inform the people, not just come and just jump and wave and have a good time, but you have to educate the people, you have to inform the people, you have to inform yourself and keep abreast with what's going on here and there, locally and internationally. It's all these things that sort of make you a well-rounded, on-air personality. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, I think you're speaking of the importance of being prepared. First
Yes,
to jump
definitely.
at an opportunity and also to be able to take advantage once you've received the opportunity. And it also sounds like you've had quite a few important mentors along the way. And somebody else you mentioned who is a personal friend of mine is Prince Wadix.
Hmm.
And I know he as well is a legend in entertainment in Dominica. So tell us a little bit more about the role he played, kind of like mentoring you in the field as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's someone I grew up listening to. When he came into radio, we would always listen to his program on a Saturday. And I don't know, I just felt we just had a lot in common. I think some people would even say, like, hey, this guy sounds like what? Because, sometimes you listen to people and the influence just sort of rubs off on you and you don't
Yes.
even know. He was one who sort of believed in me, and he took a chance on me, invited me to perform at the DBS DJs event and the Holy Goldies event, and also to host this Kadas competition they had in 2005 along with Michael Henderson. Not sure if you remember that show
Mhm.
Wadix was involved in with some other promoters. So took the chance on me to step on the big stage because they felt probably I had what it took. It was quite a challenge, and getting into that, the whole MCing thing, I mean, there were days when things were a little shaky, when you were not prepared, but then these are things that you learn, that preparation is very important, So definitely Wadix has been one of my mentors. I've learned a lot from him in terms of his drive, his passion, and understanding that when you go when you do something, try to do it to the best of your ability. Put your all into it. Go and give it 110%, and don't sell yourself short. And again, to very importantly, to understand your audience. Very important. Understand your audience, and you give them what they need and what they want. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. And now you have ventured into your own productions, Mira Entertainment, as well as Dr. Meg's Lab.com, which is your radio station. Now, just tell us some challenges that came along with trying to branch out into your own production companies.
Yes. Well, first of all, the name Mira, Mira, inspired by the names of my daughters, Mikaya, Renela, Amika. So I just sort of put a spin to it and put that together.
Lovely.
Yeah. So even before radio, I had done a few small events. The first being an event for secondary school students, which was an idea of my dad, that we could put together secondary schools dub competition. And that competition was won by Dice at the time, who was known as Mega Watts, that was his name. And he won that competition. I later did a few stints, a few small events, again promoting the various artists around. Did something for Credit Union, who had asked me to do something. And then later on the invitation of Peter Prosper, we got together and we put on this event featuring swinging stars, at Springfield, and we dubbed it the textbook jam. So I really have to big up Peter Prosper also, for one who sort of had the confidence in me and, who really opened, a door for me in that regard. So I decided that I wanted at a certain point in time to venture out into my own. I had registered my company, properly and legally, and I wanted to do some events to cater to people who I felt were shortchanged in terms of entertainment that they probably were not receiving at the time, because everything was probably geared to the same demographic all the time. And I decided to sort of go full time into this. At that time, I had just established formal relations with Digicel, as an ambassador, which I still am today, after 12 years. And so sort of I had just had something, sort of put myself in that safety net where I say, I have this going on, that going on, I have the ads going on, I want to take a chance and do my own company. So naturally with the TV and stages, you have to take a chance. First of all, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to be willing to accept and understand failure, if at all it comes around. Failure is part of the process, and you take failure as a tool to learn and to improve and make better decisions. The challenges itself that I think one faces, specifically in Dominica with that sort of event, is that going into an entertainment venture such as a concert, a big show, whatever the case is, it is risky business. It is a risk. And those things can be affected by so many factors, be it weather conditions, be it you took the wrong gamble on the artist, be it some other competing factor, or whatever it is. You learn this along the way. The question of sponsorship is always something that we are challenged and faced with, where I don't think that a lot of the corporate people understand the value of the publicity and the promotions and the awareness that entertainers and promoters bring to their product or their company. So many times I feel we are shortchanged, where they sort of ask too much of you as the promoter, as the entertainer, and not offer what I feel we are worth,
Yeah,
you
your
know?
value.
Yeah, your real value.
Yeah.
And then we have to understand too that it's a small market, so many times you have to negotiate well, with these artists. You bring in an artist, say from overseas, and have to let them understand that the other islands of the Eastern Caribbean, their population is twice as ours, or 2.5, 3 times. We have a small population, you know, um, sparsely populated. Most people are in the rural areas, the networking, transportation, those things, a lot of factors. You have to look at economies of scale. You have to look at the economy on a whole, what you think people can afford for a product, or for an event, what they can do. You have logistics with venue, getting appropriate venues, sometimes working with the owners of these venues can be challenging. So it's a lot, from sponsorship to venues to other people sort of just leeching or piggybacking on your ideas, your work, your
Yes.
efforts, and
Yes.
just coming to try to just squeeze the blood out
Mhm.
of you, just try to take what they can get from you, and not understanding that you are making an investment. You are investing your time, your money, your ideas, your effort into something, and then people feel they could just come and sort of just squeeze, just sit there, do nothing, and just squeeze everything from you without certain regulations in place to sort of mitigate. So it can be challenging. There are good times, there are bad times. All in all, knowing that you can make a difference and offer um, something to the people, offer an entertainment concept to the people where they can come out and enjoy themselves and release their stress and have a good time. That by itself is rewarding. Also knowing that you can create avenues and opportunities for people to earn an income, whatever it is, in different ways, from the sound system people to security people to entertainers, and there are so many other spin-offs with this, with nearby businesses getting money, taxi people, bus drivers, gas stations, the beauty shops. Everybody makes money from
Absolutely.
entertainment. The boutiques, the hotels. Everybody at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I'm so happy you mentioned that. But before we continue, if anyone is just joining us right now, we're speaking to Dr. Miggs out of Dominica. He's a radio personality, a DJ, a promoter, a brand ambassador. He's all around entertainment. And he's just telling us how he got started in the business, the people who played the key roles in him having opportunities to be in the business, as well as the challenges that he faced starting his own production companies, Miggs Lab, Dr. Miggs Lab, Dr. Miggs
Um,
Lab.com, as well as Mirror Entertainment. And I'm happy that you mentioned the amount of people that are involved in earning a living from the entertainment that you provide, because now with COVID-19, it also reminds us of the amount of people who have been impacted. So how have you and your businesses been impacted by COVID-19?
yes, well, I last hosted an event in February for the carnival season, and yeah, that was it. That was it
Wow.
basically. I took the time off to work on the radio station concept, something that I had actually started before, but having the time available to me, I took the opportunity to sort of develop it the best I could at the time. I took the time off to learn a few things, and I was able to do some things myself, you know, because sometimes you have to be able to do some things yourself. Yes, there are times you hire the professional to do the job properly for you, but with regards to that, with the online radio and the website, I was able to learn a few things, and apply that into the project itself, So it was a good opportunity. The time, I mean, while I was not able, along with the other people, we were not able to earn anything from that aspect with regards to the entertainment events. And sadly, um, the entertainers, in my opinion, and the entertainment industry on a whole, you know, it's like we are the ones who sort of have been put at the back of the line, or if at all we're even in the line, because you hear of different sectors for the farming people, etc., this, that, look how we can help you, we can do this, we can do that. But then what about the entertainers who are called upon in times of disaster, in times of this and that? The entertainers are the ones who step up and render their services for free many times, to raise funds for this and that, for this organization to help with this and that. It's the entertainers. They're the ones, when people travel to come to the country, people are not only interested in coming to explore uh, the sites and enjoy the eco product that we have to offer, the ecotourism, but people want entertainment. They go out, thousands of people come down during the festivities for the entertainment, be it Independence Time, Carnival Time, other times jazz. And I think that people involved within the entertainment industry who have played their part over the years could be considered, or considered a bit better, because we are the ones who sort of feel it along with other tourism stakeholders. I see entertainment as part of tourism. And we know what it has been like for the hotels, etc., the vendors, the taxi drivers, the people who work within the tourism industry. The entertainers fall under that category. And you don't hear much, happening. So I really wish that we could have been looked at. I mean, some people have other activities, whereas some 100% full time, be it some of the DJs who that's all they do, DJ, or some other artists that they're full time entertainers, full time musicians, and we are the ones who feel the pain, you know.
I
So
agree with you, Miguel. I agree with you 100% because you know what, especially during this dark time, I mean, you are the light to the world because, I can be in the worst mood when I wake up in the morning. I turn you on a Saturday morning and I have all the energy in the world to clean my house, do my laundry while I'm listening to you on the radio. And it's so unfortunate that many times the government and, the higher ups in society, they do not see the value, but you're actually providing a mental health product by
yes,
lifting people's spirit and shifting their mindset to a place where they're not completely consumed with depression and everything else that's going on in the world. So you're certainly very undervalued.
yes, exactly. Such an important role, with the mental
Yes.
and emotional healing
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
and, and, and all that. I want to big up those who have been doing what they could, like Carlin and Cornell have been
Yes.
doing their thing. I know
Yes.
a lot of people have been getting much needed psychological relief,
Hmm.
and good entertainment from that. But then, I mean, we understand too the times and what it's like, not being able to host events to accommodate large crowds, as they've coined it. It's right now with all the social distancing and limitations, you can only bring X amount of people. Sometimes X amount of people cannot even cut it when you look at your expenses. If especially if you're one who doesn't have his or her own venue, and that's one of the challenges that I face with certain events. It's something that I've tried to sort of lock down, establish, but then I guess it's the time just hasn't come yet that I could have my own venue, because many times what happens is that you bring an idea and you bring goodwill to a place, and then it sort of backfires where the people feel hey, I'm seeing this, that happening, then, let me, without saying too much, but it happens when you bring goodwill to
Right.
some place that's not yours, and
Mhm.
you're still limited and restricted with what you can do, what you want to do, and then you're still being sucked, for want of a better word,
Right.
to put it lightly. But then you look at the bright side, and if you're able to make a contribution, it's very important that you're able to make a contribution, you know um and yeah, that's what it has been.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. And I'm just grateful that at least you still have your radio job because you're still on the air with the radio. And that is kind of what I want to talk to you a little bit more, because now that the promotions and entertainment portion is on hold, you can still spend time, as you talked about, developing your radio show. So tell us some of the programs that you offer. And please remember, this is a PG program, Miguel. So let's not go into
Yes.
too much detail of one of the programs that you always send me the promotions for.
All right. Yes, all right. Well, I will quickly just mention that we are slowly getting back, into being able to offer our entertainment services, though on a smaller scale. So we are getting back there, and the opportunities are coming for the entertainers, the DJs, etc. I have a few gigs lined up, to
Good.
yeah, and to get things going, which is all good. So the radio project, well, the radio station itself is Lab Radio,
Mhm.
and it is streamed on drmigslab.com currently, right? Um, and Lab Radio is a service that I offer where persons can enjoy 24-hour music. So it's a work in progress, um, and it's mostly automated, where we squeeze in all sorts of music, different types of music there. And for now, we have the legendary DJ Matthew, who,
Yes, he is
yes,
so good.
he is good,
He
and he's
is
one of
so
my
good.
he's one of my mentors where DJing is concerned. He's one of my teachers. He's very good, very humble, and I learn up to a day like today. I still learn from him, and I look up to him. So I really want to big up Matthew for, again, to sticking with me. I mean, we have worked well together. We've done a lot together over the past few years. We have gone way back from days of my dad's record shop, which is where he started, and it's really good that we are able to work together still. So he has taken his time, his talent, and he is one who believes in the project, believes in the idea, and has been there with me, because I spoke to a few other people, other DJs, but then I suppose when guys don't see the big picture, they don't catch the vision, or they probably see or they don't see some immediate big money coming just like that, then they probably are reluctant, But Matthew was able to step on board with me, step on with me, and say, "Yo, Miguel, I'm in that with you." I treat that as mine. So I consider the project to be, the radio is like, like Matthew, I consider Matthew to be as much of an owner, or of the station as I am, So since in England, when I spent my the few months with the initial COVID lockdown and all these restrictions, I started streaming live, both myself and Matthew, and I was able to just provide a link, just like other people do, to the local stations in Dominican. I was able to continue my digital sponsored radio programs on DBS and Q95 and Vibes Radio. There, I also developed my famous program that you mentioned on a Tuesday night, which is dubbed Bedtime Stories. So it's just a program to put you to bed soundly,
We'll leave it at that, Miguel.
Yeah. A very popular program.
I'm sure it is.
Yes, and the people love and appreciate it. To this date, I still broadcast from my own studios, my home studios to this date. So if you hear me on DBS or on Q95 or the other stations or Vibes Radio, I'm broadcasting from home for
That's
now.
amazing.
Still, you know, so that is what it is. And then the lab radio itself on drmigslab.com. I mean, that's my personal project. So it's something that I want to develop. There will be challenges, obviously. For now, it is online, but believe you, Simone, we are coming. We are coming. And
Absolutely. I truly
yes,
believe you.
yes, it's about offering something different, because what I noticed too is that everybody ends up doing the same thing. Sometimes you tune in, with due respect to my good stations, you tune in at a particular time, everybody has the same thing going on or something similar. You go on at that time, everybody has the same thing going on again at that same time. And I don't know. I just believe that you have to offer something different. So it's about offering something different, and we're getting there. The ultimate goal would be to really expand the listenership. Expand that listener base to go FM at some point, which I know is not going to be easy, and it will take time, but to go FM. And also, a lot of people listen to radio on their television sets. I mean, everywhere in the world right now, So that is something that I don't think it's too difficult to establish, especially with my relationship with one of the providers. So that is something that I'm looking at, to get my own channel, and to also develop the overall programming itself, where we can offer our listeners in Dominica and overseas, something that they will enjoy. Because I can bet you, if you listen to especially DJ Matthew, from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I mean, you're gonna enjoy it and rate it. So that's the kind of vibe we're trying to build by just enhancing, developing programs, mostly entertainment, but other stuff, around there, other special features that people can appreciate, and that is different from what is going on right
Mhm.
now.
And I have no doubt that you will do just that. And that is actually one of the reasons that my program is the program it is, because there's so much talk on Dominica Radio, but a lot of it is politics. A
Yes.
lot of it is politics. So I wanted us to talk about something different. Why not talk about, the challenges and the successes of our people, and everybody, not just Dominicans,
Yeah.
but everybody has a story, and we've all had challenges and we've all had successes. So why not use it to inspire other people? So keep me in mind as you
Of
continue
course.
building your radio.
Yes, of course, of course. We have to continue to inspire each other, to
Yes,
motivate each other, to
yes,
support each other,
right.
and not tear each other down, to guide each other, even if
Yes,
sometimes a decision may seem like an unpopular one. We have to be able to to teach, to guide, to educate, and to support each other. That's what it
yes,
is
and
about.
I want to make sure people can actually reach your radio station. So it's DR for doctor, and then
Hmm.
MIGZLAB.com. So
Hmm.
DRMIGZLAB.com.
Dot
drmigslab.com.
com.
That's correct?
Absolutely. For now, we have an Android app, so persons could just go into the Play Store and search for Lab Radio, and you download the app. I mentioned again, it's a work in progress. So we have been considering some options in terms of how we can better improve and enhance. So I'm looking at a few things for now. I'm doing some testings and research right now that in the near future there may be some changes, and then obviously we'll be able to have the app for iPhone users as well, because one would understand, I mean, everything has a cost. Nothing comes
Mhm.
for free these days, and for now we're just it's an investment, and we welcome kind donations from listeners. I mean, it's not something that they are used to, but then the little, the one, the two that the listeners put in, then we're grateful. And then we have one or two advertisers already on board advertising with us, just one or two. So we just look forward to expanding and developing the product.
Yeah, certainly. And again, if you're just joining us, we're speaking to Miguel Labadie, Dr. Miggs out of Dominica, and he is a brilliant businessman. He's just created his own concept for his radio station, Dr. Miggs Lab. .com, and he's telling us all about what he has done and what he is envisioning for himself. So Miguel, you talked about the importance that mentors played in your life as you got into the business. Now, would you say now that you are a mentor, and is there any young ones who are looking up to you, and what advice would you provide for anyone who's interested in following your footsteps?
I mean, I would like to believe that I am. It would be quite a humbling experience to know that you can inspire others. I mean, many times some people may come up to me and ask me, how do you do this? Or they may ask for advice, or say if you could do this for me or do that. So I guess to an extent, I mean, my advice to people coming up is you have to be yourself, be original, and offer something unique. Don't just jump on the bandwagon where everyone is doing the same thing. Try to be different. Have Don't just have dreams, but have goals. Have goals, because you may have dreams and not have goals, and I mean, you're not going to really, I don't know how far you're going to get. So it's important to have goals. It's important to plan, and keep learning. You're never too just too old to learn. Just keep learning. Plan. Even an announcer or DJ, if you're going on the radio, you plan. You don't just,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is. You plan, and when you come, you sound prepared. You don't just come and just. And that's the thing. I think a lot of times people feel that you just go on radio and you just come and press something, and it's nothing. You just sit there and it's like the easiest job. Take time. Take pride in your work. Take it seriously. Plan, and don't settle for mediocrity. Don't be mediocre, man. You know, improve on your product. Improve on your sound. If you do something, try at least to offer something within a quality that is accepted. Have standards. I think overall we do too many things around here that are substandard, no guidelines and standards, so anything goes. You render that service, you offer a product, and whatever. You know, there should be a standard. If it within that certain standard, be it in something that you can present, that people can see or touch or feel or hear or listen to, something you can play, then don't put it out. You understand? Or don't it, it should be deemed unacceptable until it's within something. So always try to develop your craft, and just keep learning. Just keep learning, you
Yeah, I
know.
have to tell you, Miguel, so much of what you're saying is resonating with me, especially when you talk about being different. Because, when I got the offer to do the radio show, I said, wow, I so don't have a radio personality. I mean, I'm as vanilla as they come. I'm not the loud shout and, all this energy. And then the first couple of episodes I did, the comments I got were, we so appreciate how soothing you
Of
are.
course,
And
of
here I
course.
was thinking I needed this big personality because I was going to be on the radio. And the
Hmm.
comments I was getting is like, that is exactly the opposite of what
Yeah.
we want to hear. So important. And then what you talk about being prepared and doing the work. Because many
Hmm.
times people are looking from the outside in and they're thinking, oh, this looks so easy. He's just going on the radio and pressing a couple of buttons.
Yeah.
When in fact, they don't know that you're showing up prepared. You probably have a script. of what you
Yeah.
want to make sure you touch on each and every day, and that
Mhm.
you're doing the work and you're being consistent. Because many times people are not consistent. They will do it they'll do it well for a little
Mhm.
while, and then by the third
Mhm.
or the fourth time, you can tell
Yeah.
that they're just winging it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
especially in your field, I'm really happy that you mentioned the importance of being prepared.
Yes, I mean it's not as easy, to be consistent because there are factors, which could pose as hurdles. You come across challenges. Sometimes you're just having a bad day or something is going on within your own life, your personal space, whatever is going on with you, and you it's it can be difficult, but you have to really you have to be dedicated and be able to get into that zone, be able to get into that zone, get into character, get into that vibe, that mood, bring the energy, bring that personality. Radio is about personality to a great extent, be it a soothing personality like yours or something uh, very vibrant and like superant and all that, like our good partner. You know what I'm saying?
Wadix, king
It's
of
different.
energy.
Yeah. So it's being able to connect with the people, that you just have to have that connection, almost intimate to a certain
Yes.
degree. The people have to feel you and you have to be real. The people can tell the difference between real and fake. You have to be real with the people, connect with them, touch them, make them happy, reach out to them, inspire them, you know. That is what it should be about.
Yes, and thank you so much, Miguel, because you're certainly part of the energy that we need right now. So as we get ready to wrap up, and again, thank you for being with us. Thank you for taking this time to share your challenges and your successes. Do you have any final thoughts for our audience?
Um, to just appreciate the effort that people make, into projects, their work, or into making a difference, to show whatever way, be it just a few simple words, just appreciate, people for the good that they do and they can do, help them to bring out the best in them, the best that they can be, and just continue to support each other. And let's not be quick to tear each other down. No need to be jealous of someone and to be bad mind. As there's no need for that. Let's just love each other more and let's just improve, on what we do and to be better people. I also want to remind people that they can look out for Reggae on the Boardwalk coming soon. I'm hoping that we can have it back soon at our original location in Lale Coco. It's gonna be the bomb. It's gonna be off the chains. We're gonna be um, obviously adhering to the health guidelines and all that. We'll do what we have to do, but we look forward to entertaining you again sometime soon, and all the other events. We look forward to bringing it back to you, the house parties and all the other events. Also, something coming up called Classified Saturdays for people who want to come out and dance and not pull up and take selfies all night and pull up in a corner, to come out and dance to good music. So you can look out to these and some other good stuff coming out soon,
Yes,
man.
and I don't want you to leave without telling us how we can get in touch with you. Very, very important. So we already know the website, but you can repeat it, and then phone number, email, how we can get in touch with you.
Sure. I mean, the website, drmigslab.com. I am on the various social media platforms, Miguel Labadie or Mira Entertainment on Facebook, on Instagram, Dr. Miguel Labadie, also Reggae on the Boardwalk Dominica, Lab Radio. Email is labadiemiguel, that's LABADIEMIGUEL at gmail.com. And our phone number, 1767 Very easy. And I want to thank you for that opportunity, Simone.
Yes, it has certainly been a pleasure listening and speaking with you today. And you can bet I will be listening to you at 2 o'clock every day. for the Digital Hour, as well as you
Fantastic.
being my energy. So just keep in mind, if nobody else is listening to you on Saturday, you're
Oh,
providing my energy for me to
so
get my
sweet.
household done.
You're so kind.
So
So,
thank you so much, Miguel. Thank you for being with us, and we'll be in touch, okay?
my pleasure. I had a good time, Simone.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Bye.